Hi, Capricorn. We're starting off with these bad boys today. We're going to see what happens. Okay. So we got not the right time. It was in reverse, though. We got choose a new direction. Go, the time is right. I've got this Under Oath song in my head right now. Oh, God, that's cold. I feel like this is going to be kind of like an intricate message. So I'm going to use good old Jeremy Hush's tarot. And I'm going to see what comes out with these cards. It's like someone's hesitant with choosing a new direction. You know, it's like they don't want to choose a new direction, but the universe might be telling them that the time is right. Okay, what's this? Not the right time in reverse. Queen of Swords, Sun in reverse. Knight of Cups. Six of Wands. Knight of Cups. Yes. Okay, that's what it is. So the universe knows that where you are right now, you're not happy. And that you have to, the only truth of the matter is to go towards something that makes you happy. Almost charge towards something that makes you happy. And then we got, what is this? Queen. Two? Okay, we got Judgment, the Queen of Cups, and the Five of Wands. It's almost like Judgment is kind of saying to you right now, like, don't fight this. Like, if you're not happy, you know you're not happy. And Judgment is saying that this is your time to get on with it. You have to make yourself a home, you know? And clearly you don't want to do it where you are right now. Okay, so choose a new direction. The World and the Strength card. The World in reverse with choose a new direction. This is going to involve a lot of personal strength, Capricorn. Yeah. Three of Swords gets to the Nine of Pentacles. Something that hurt you is now something that frees you. So, what a contradicting message. Choose a new direction, but then that... Oh, maybe it's choosing a new direction doesn't stop a cycle. So, okay, that kind of makes sense. You might think that by stopping something and choosing a new direction, you're going to throw yourself into some type of new world order, new something. And the world is like, no, it's a continuation. Okay. It's like this. Layman's terms would say, you go from little Mario to big Mario. You're still in the same world. You're still in the same game. You just ate the mushroom and now you're bigger. Okay. Goal of the time is right. The moon in reverse. With the Page of Swords in reverse. With the Ten of Swords. I mean, look at this moon card. Isn't it? I fucking love this deck. Look at that moon card. Oh, like, I just instantly fell in love with this deck as soon as I saw the sun and the moon. I don't know why. Something in my stomach just rumbled. I don't know why, but these cards, there's something about them that really is like connects with my third eye big time. So what I'm getting is, what's this on the bottom? Ooh, King of Swords, 4 Wands, the Star, and the Six of Swords. Moving on. Okay, so really kind of like what is happening here is I see as soon as you move forward, okay, as soon as you suddenly choose a new direction, okay, which whatever it is, okay, choosing a new direction because you're stronger than the pain you feel inside, okay, from wherever it is that you are in life, okay, it's like painful to be where you are right now. So you choose a new direction spontaneously, because it's the exact time to do it. Your body says, this is the time to do it. You need to make a change. And then suddenly, once you choose that new direction, which it could be a new direction driving to work, okay? It could, like, honestly, sometimes these things are so fucking easy to decipher in 3D if they happen to you, okay? And then it's like, you choose a new direction, okay? Like suddenly you just start driving to work down a different road, okay? And then all the illusions disappear. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what it is that you're seeing. I don't know what imaginative road you were going down before, okay? But suddenly all your wisdom comes back. It's like your foresight comes back. It's all of a sudden like, oh, why haven't I been doing this forever? It takes up 0 more time. So it's not like choosing this direction is going to take up more time, or it's going to make you in a delay, or suddenly there's going to be traffic, or they're going to install fucking camera lights all of a sudden. And now there's going to be all this construction. Like it's just like this path just suddenly went, oh my God. You know what just came to me? I was actually just talking to my sister about this like maybe 2 weeks ago because I actually couldn't believe it. You know when sometimes things happen, but it takes you like 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 years to actually figure out what actually happened, right? Because you're in an illusion somehow, right? You don't really know. Okay, so I was working for this guy, okay? And I was working for him, oh my God, like, yeah, about 6 or 7 years ago, okay? And I was working downtown in the city, and I was growing weed for him. He had government contracts, and he grew for the government of Canada, okay? So we had all these licenses. Actually, one of them we had was my license. So technically, some of those plants were mine. So I was working downtown, and this was like when I first kind of started smoking weed. Like, I only started smoking weed 10 years ago, okay? I never knew really how bad it stunk or like how much it can linger on you and stuff like that. Like I was like, but I also smoked cigarettes. So I think the cigarettes at the time were way more overpowering than what weed was to me. So I never smelt the weed. I could only smell my cigarettes. So, and I would have to drive home. Okay. I lived in the country. So my drive home was about an hour and a half. This factory that we worked at was on a main road called Kennedy. Okay, major fucking road. I didn't even, again, I'm not from that city, so I don't really know how busy it is, right? I don't fucking go to Scarborough. I don't know how busy it is, okay? So, this motherfucker, okay, I worked for my brother-in-law at the time, okay? There was a secret road that I didn't know about that paralleled the major road, which was Kennedy. So here I was every night driving down Kennedy, smelling like a fucking weed shop. I could have been pulled over at any time. There are roadblocks, there are stops, there are DUI checks, there's fucking constant, crashes that happen on the highway. It's a major highway. The 401's a major highway. They made a fucking show about it. Okay. It's a major highway. And here I was every night driving down this road. And I never thought, man, I stink like weed, right? Because I was living in this other world where I was completely oblivious to how I smelled. Like I said, it's like an alcoholic. Like, you don't think you smell like alcohol? Fucking course you do. So I'm at the last set of lights. All of a sudden, it's one night. I couldn't tell you how long I'd been working there. Few months anyways, okay. I get to the traffic light. It's like 11:30 at night. Usually my shifts were done around 11:30. And there's my fucking boss, my brother-in-law, that comes out from the secret road and onto the highway. And I'm the first one in line at that traffic stop. Nobody else was there, so I know he saw me sitting there. And I went, you greasy motherfucker. So the next day at work, I went down that way because all of a sudden I noticed where he had come out of. So I retraced his steps to work, and I went. 2 weeks later, I stopped working for him. I don't remember what happened, but all of a sudden I wasn't going there anymore, and I was staying in the hometown where he had another plant factory, and these two guys got pulled over. And they were driving back here, obviously, but they didn't have a single ounce of weed in the car. I always had weed. I smoked and drove, okay? I always had weed on me. Plus, where I worked, I was always given freebies, like, little fucking 1 grams of weed all the time just to try different product and stuff like that. Like, I have fucking weed on me all the time. But for some reason, these guys, that night they left, had nothing on them. And the guy said they searched the car for over 3 hours on the side of the road because they smelled so bad like it. Gave them weed breathalyzers, everything. But because they didn't smoke anything, right? One guy fucking never smoked any weed. He was a chain smoker of cigarettes. And the other guy, he got high, but not very often. He was a dealer, so you don't smoke your own product, right? Like, he was very under control. So, and I almost shit myself, and I looked right at my brother-in-law, and he didn't even say a word to me. He didn't say a word about the side road. He didn't say a word about seeing me. And I went, you put my life in danger every fucking night. Why didn't you tell me about that road? Like, why would you put me on the front end of everything knowing that I could get caught while you just drive around the side? Are you fucking kidding me? Like, I could have ripped his head off. Who does that? You tell somebody that you love them, that you have their back, that you support them, you don't want anything to happen to them, and then you're sending them down a major highway where they could get pulled over at any time and they smell like your product? What the fuck is wrong with you? That's what I'm getting, okay? For some reason, I don't know why I just got that message. I went into my body because I can remember still sitting at that set of lights and watching him pull out and going, where did you just come from? Because we left the shop at the same time and suddenly he had just disappeared. So I figured he went and got a burger or he went the other way. No, he just went down a road that I didn't know about. Right? Like, I swear I was just sitting in my car, like, watching him pull, my jaw dropped, thinking that my brother-in-law would put me in such a dangerous risk, knowing that I could get hurt and arrested. But he didn't care. Right? So it's almost like, I don't know where that comes from, but it's like, oh yes, because we're talking about a new way to drive to work. Okay. This is beyond that message. You know what I mean? Like, this is crossing borders of another dimension in this lesson where it's like somebody's been putting you in direct harm's way somehow. And it's making you really unhappy. And you're unhappy with the way that it's going, but you won't change the direction of it. As soon as you change the current of your own life, that's where you're going to realize that somebody this whole time was trying to hurt you. They were trying to get you caught. They were trying to stab you. They were trying to end you in some way. Okay. Because of the Page of Swords in reverse, the liar. There was somebody lying around you and creating illusions that you were safe and you weren't, okay? Creating illusions that you were happy and you're not. You know the truth. You know where you want to go. So why are you listening to other people that are trying to lie to you and illusion you into death? Right? Doesn't make fucking sense. Get out of here, fly. I actually killed a fly with my hands the other day. I just went up to it, smacked it, and I killed it. And I was like, I think that fly wasn't flying as fast as usually they do, because I don't think I would have been able to catch it with my hands. Just saying. Where'd you go, you little fucker? Oh man, we have animals living in the apartment next door because no people live there yet. They were like chewing at the wall this morning and I banged and now they're gone. Oh my God, this house is so funny. Okay, so, yeah, like maybe you're gonna grab what's in your fucking piggy bank and you're gonna go and get an apartment as shitty as the one that I'm in. Okay, it's not cheap. This place is not cheap, but it's built in a very old house, which means it's got a lot of work that it has to get done all the time. Like maybe you're going to grab your little fucking pennies and your little fucking dish and you're going to take a fucking trip and you're going to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really know what's going to happen, but look at this. We got the 4 of Wands with the star. So this is everything you could have possibly ever wished for to do for yourself. Okay. I got my sister and I out of so many really awful situations with literally nothing. We've lived in cars, we've lived in trailers, we've lived in the back of fucking loved ones' yards, anything to get us out of imprisonment or away from somebody that was hurting us. I mean, I left when we moved to Calgary. We moved in with this guy that we didn't know, but obviously he had 2 rooms like anybody would. You rent a room, right? And I ended up starting to work and I made a lot of money in a really short amount of time. So I was like, you know what? I'm leaving. Like, I can't fucking live with this dude anymore. Like, this is ridiculous. Like, the guy was the biggest alcoholic I'd ever met, which I have no problems with alcoholics. But when you fall asleep with a fucking tray full of food in the oven on fucking broil and you almost burn the house down, I kind of go like, maybe I don't want to live there anymore because maybe I don't want to wake up to a fucking fire in the middle of the night. Like, this guy was really fucking awful. Like, he had a great heart, but he was so irresponsible and he was just willing to hurt people. And that's how you know that he was like possessed by something. I think he was possessed by his mother, to be honest. His mother was some type of wicked witch that lived in Mexico. And it was an awful situation, but I got us out of there with and I had like $1,000 left, but I still had a job. I was still working and I moved us in. We had no furniture. Same with this place. Like, we moved us in, we had no furniture, but my landlord has just like given us things because he has a barn full of fucking furniture. So he's like, well, you just leave it here and just use all my furniture. And I'm like, thanks. Because I don't really want to buy furniture for this place. I don't really want to waste my money and then just move it somewhere else. You know, like if somebody can just donate the furniture, then fucking great, right? Like it's almost like you don't need everything that you think you need to get out of a bad situation. Like, I almost feel like maybe this is like a bad situation where someone's getting hurt. A woman's getting hurt and she knows she has to leave, right? But she doesn't want to leave because she doesn't feel like she has enough money. Well, guess what? You're going to get money. If the universe, if you've got partnership with the universe, with your guides, your ancestors, the ones that you listen to, and you're guided to leave because it's the right fucking time, your life is not going to change that much. You're going to grow into it. It might be a little bit of like a fucking frost freeze for a second. You know, you might get up with a little chill, but then you warm right back up again. You know, like, life is challenge. And I think that we have to lower our standards on what we think is fucking we deserve and the palace that we think we deserve to live in. Like, this is real life. Like, this is people are poor. They are living on the streets. People are broke. They have no money. And these cities that you see people living in, they're living off their credit. They're not living off their bank accounts and their paychecks. Their paychecks are barely covering their credit card bills. Like, if you watch studies on how fucked people are really with their money, most of these cars that they're driving around, they're not even paid for. They're all on credit. I've bought all my cars straight up. I don't do credit, okay? I can't. I'm bankruptcy. I don't have credit. I can't call the bank and be like, please up my credit. Okay? Like, bank doesn't even want to fucking deal with me. They don't want to deal with people like me. Okay, we're broke. We don't have anything to give you, so you're not going to try to help us. Trust me, I know the world that I live in, but I also know that people live in a completely different world. They don't know rock bottom. They don't know the shit that we've lived in. They don't know where we've been because they live on their little pedestals and their little high horses with their husbands and their wives that are keeping them safe and keeping them content and keeping them away from all the storms. Guess what? You can't run from a storm. If it wants to find you, it's going to just destroy your whole fucking house, community, fucking family, work, anything that you've been taking advantage of or you've stolen or you've done something that has hurt somebody else. You will pay the repercussions of that. So if you know that you're in a situation where you can't even see the sun, you can't even see the fucking silver lining in what it is that you're doing right now, change your direction. That's all you have to do. There are places out there that will help you. There are shelters out there that will get you an apartment. They'll get you and help you find a job. There are headhunters out there that are dying to meet people with absolutely no skills. So then they can just brainwash them into whatever company that they're going to work for. You know, like there are avenues to go down because I've had to use them. I have 30, 40 people in my family and I've had to go to welfare resources to find places to live. Okay. Like honestly, my family's not broke either. They have plenty of money to fucking have saved my life and they didn't want to. Right. So you've got to realize people aren't just going to save you. You have to save yourself, or you can continue to live like this. I mean, it's up to you. You're the one that saves you, or you're the one that watches you burn, right? Sometimes we're in positions that we really can't do anything about, but eventually we can get the time. The window opens, right? And then this comes out. And when this comes out, that ain't anything to fuck around with because now it's your life. Now it's your money. Now it's your paychecks. It's going into your bank account. Nobody can fuck with that. Right? It's like major independence here. And the star in its little mouth, it's got a scroll that says, "And hunting we will go," because that's obviously what he wanted to make the star card about, was going and hunting. And you know, when you go out and hunt, for the most part, those communities and those people that really have to hunt, if they come back empty-handed, they're sleeping with empty bellies, right? Like I don't think people really realize how broke people are out here, and that you can look at a picture all you want, but until you go into it, check its bank accounts and its fridge and its cupboards and its fucking mentality, can you say that somebody's not broke, right? Like, it doesn't matter what it looks like on the outside. And I think that's what Spirit's trying to tell you, is that it doesn't matter what this next phase looks like on the outside, because you're happy. So wouldn't you rather just be happy? I was more happier living in my car, playing hangman with my sister, than, where were we before we were homeless? Oh yeah, we were living in her house that she purchased with her husband at the time, that he then lured away from my sister. I swear to God, if I could go through her divorce again, he took her house. He already had a house and he stole that house. All he gave her was $40,000 to pay her debt off. So she just got to zero. And he walked away with two houses and like multiple businesses. My sister walked away with zero. You should have saw the look on her lawyer's face when he was giving her like the papers of what her ex-husband was giving her. And he was like, "Are you sure you want to sign this?" Like, he was hesitant. He was like, "You shouldn't be signing this." And she's like, she was so out of it. I don't even remember what was happening to me at the time. I think my window to being massively abused by a pedophile was just opened. So I was dealing with trauma coming out my heart like a motherfucker, while her ex-husband was massively manipulating everything. He got her to stop going to her job that she went to school for. He got her in school and then stopped paying for it. She doesn't know what to do with herself. Her skills are outdated. Her certificates in school are outdated. Now she's a fucking 40-year-old that has no job, no direction, and has no idea what to do. Like, it's sad. And his businesses are all going. He's booming. He started a whole new family. He had a fucking kid. He got married. He left my sister. We left and we went and lived in my car. And I could say, like, it was starting to become really cold. Like, I think there was a night where we slept. It was like -17. I think I almost stopped breathing that night because it was so cold on my lungs that my body had never experienced cold like that before. I'd never been homeless. I never slept outside. So I never knew what it was like. And I almost died one night. And that was the night where finally, we called my dad. He owed my sister about $500. I was out of gas. We were living in Fenland Falls on Crown land. And I finally called my dad and I was like, we're stranded. We have no gas. We have no money. We're living in my car. Give that $500 to my sister. Now you owe it to her. It was from her wedding from like 10 years before that. He just never gave her the money from the wedding because his wife didn't want her to have it, because we excluded the wife because my mother couldn't come and my stepmother's an evil, awful person. So why would we want her at a wedding? It was my sister's decision. Doesn't matter. And we were more happier there than living in that house under his watchful eye, under whatever it is that he wanted to say, whatever it was that he wanted to go around and tell everybody what was going on. Like this man spent days, hours, weeks talking shit about his wife and I, right? About the things that he had to do for us. He didn't do jack shit. I worked for him full time. He paid me. I worked for him. I gave him a government license for weed and he gypped me for 5 years. I got that license specifically so then we could start a business and he could help my sister and we could actually start something, and he cut us out of all of it. That was his plan to do. He cut everybody out of it. Everybody that was the OGs that had their licenses in for him that he grew for, he cut us all out. He cut his own wife out. I mean, what he did just for money, that's going to come around. And I know for a fact that we were better off being homeless than living under him. Right? The abuse that you sustain under somebody else and what you think you have to deal with or go through because someone's your landlord or because somebody's got some type of fucking right over you or they sign your paychecks, the abuse that we sustain. And then when we realized that we didn't have to do it, that actually it was illegal for them to abuse, that they didn't have the right, and that's why they made us feel so shitty about everything, was because they were doing something wrong, not us, but they turned the tables around on us. That's where you've got to realize you've got to make better moves for yourself. And I'm telling you, even in a shelter, you'd be better off without this person. Honestly, like if you really feel like you're not that happy, like you can't do anything, you can't even see a future, you can't move forward, you can't do anything, where you go to, look at this, is the 4 of Wands with the 6 of Swords. Like with the cock, the King of Swords himself, the thing that wakes up everybody. It's like you're going to wake up, right? Because it's going to move you forward so quick. You get the biggest animal on the hunt. Put it that way. You're going to end up shooting the animal that feeds you for a year. Something crazy like that. You know what I mean? In layman's terms, it'll be something crazy like that. So we're going to shut this down. That was a lot of energy to channel. So I'm just going to go and eat some breakfast now and start my Sunday. So I hope this resonates. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Okay, this was a huge message today. So it's obviously not going to resonate with everybody or exactly the way that it says, but it will resonate with people. Okay, put it that way. Or I would not have channeled such an awful message if it didn't resonate with somebody. So, I mean, it's not really an awful message, I guess. It's more like someone's got to open up the box. You know, they got to open up the lid on their life and they have to free themselves. I don't think they realize how much personal freedom is provided by you, right? They're thinking other people will free them. They're thinking the cage is going to get opened for them when it's probably not going to. You just got to figure out a way to escape, you know? So, yeah. Look forward to possibly more readings today. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, but yeah, look forward to more readings coming anyways. And thanks for joining the channel and writing and emailing and telling me all your wonderful things and affirmations. It's really nice to know that these readings are affirming with somebody, obviously. So yeah, hit that like, share, subscribe, all that shit, notifications, to know when I'm putting up videos. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful week. And we will see you on the flip side. Peace out, motherfuckers.